We're going live. We're in, baby.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to another week of Football Psych.
Football Psych, baby.
And we're here. We're doing it big without Coach Mad Mike tonight. You know what I'm saying? He's out being, blowing bubbles, trying to get certified to be a certified bubble blowing instructor. But don't worry about it, because guess who's going to hold it down? Good old Shaq and Large Sarge.
Man, oh, man. You know, he's going to be an instructor real soon. This test came up real quick. He apologized. He's like, this test came up. I got to do this test. I got to get in the water with my instructor. So I said to him, cheers. And what are you doing dipping the shell for diving? That's what I said. And he got mad and hung up on me.
You know our commanders are way more important than blowing bubbles, Coach Mad Mike.
But you know what? I love him. He's going after a dream. He's going to be a dive instructor one day. He's going to run his own dive shop. It's going to be a good thing. So
yeah. Good.
Listen, I'm trying to pull in some data here, okay? Because the draft is over. We've been through the draft.
Boo.
So I got a couple of things I want to talk about tonight about the draft.
Okay.
First one is the story. The story and the sub-story. The story is Shakur Sanders.
Shakur Sanders. Okay, so look, how many times did you hear me say that he was going to get drafted by the Browns? I was saying it the whole time. Wait. I said he was going to go to the Browns.
I didn't think you were right. Believe me, I thought you were wrong.
I said he was going to go to the Browns because one, Deshaun Watson got too much stuff going on up there. Joe Flacco is old. Kenny Pickett's fifth-year option is $22 million. They may not hold on to that. Kenny Pickett ain't worth no $22 million a year, right? So not only that, Taylor Gabriel, I didn't understand that pick either, right? But they were trying to prove a point. They brought Shakur Sanders in. Shakur Sanders could beat out. He could beat out.
I think he's
gonna beat out a lot of those guys. He's not gonna beat out Deshaun Watson for the starting job, but he's gonna beat out Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and Taylor Gabriel for a position.
I have to think you're right on that. I do. He just got way too good of an arm, right?
Yep.
So wait. Just seeing the news, Jeff. Hey, Jeff, welcome to the show, buddy.
What's up, Jeff?
The news, Washington's going to spend $2.4 billion. No, Jeff, you're wrong.
It's 3.
That's already been upgraded.
It's $3 billion.
More like $3.4 billion on the stadium because they're going to build there's going to be a park, 2 housing communities of 6,000 houses, a complete business development property. It looks amazing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they have a whole layout. It's going to be like a shopping plaza.
And I wanted to bring this to you, and I can't figure out how to get in the doggone StreamYard with it.
No, I'm gonna tell you this. They are emulating what Jerry Jones did in Texas. I mean, if you go down there, if you go down to Texas, I don't know if any of y'all ever been to the stadium.
Yeah, Jeff, you're right. 2.4 from the team, the rest from the taxpayers.
So no, we're gonna get into that. We're definitely gonna get into that.
But hold on a second. Let me back up. So we're talking about Shakur Sanders and how he fell, and the Browns picked him up, and the likelihood that he's going to beat out the number 2 pick, the number 3 pick they had, and compete for the backup slot for sure, which we think he'll get, but possibly he could be starting.
No, only way he's going to start is if Deshaun Watson get hurt again, and he's been injury prone the last 3-4 years. Yeah. So that's the only way Shakur Sanders is going to start in Cleveland.
I think there's a chance I think he's going to make number 2. Do you agree?
Not if they paying Kenny Pickett. No, he's gonna be a 3. I don't think Taylor Gabriel makes this roster. I think Joe Flacco gets to the season and retires.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, I gotta agree.
Yeah.
So that's the first story of the draft, right? The biggest news everyone was talking about. Here's the second story.
Larson, that overshadowed the whole draft. Him going so late in the draft overshadowed the whole draft. Nobody cares about anything that happened in the rounds prior. It was just him.
Yeah.
On day 3. That's the only thing that for years to come, Shador Sanders going on day 3 of the draft is going to be the talk of the talk.
Man, can you imagine having to come in and compete after all that crap? Can you imagine heat on that kid? He's a young kid. He's a kid. Can you imagine all that heat?
Yep, he's coming in and he has to perform.
I feel you, Shador. And you know what? I have to say, we don't get religious, we don't get political, but you know what? It was just like, this is God's plan, and I'm going to deal with it. That's what he came out with. It's like, I get it. I'm not going to let it affect me. It's God's plan, and I'm gonna ignore all the stuff. I'm going to stay focused.
Well. So look,
I like that response.
Yeah, me too. Now, Jeff, I'm reading Jeff's comment. He said, "Do you believe it's racism?" Okay, so no, I don't think so. Right. So this is the thing right here.
No racism.
No racism. Right.
It was his attitude.
It was So the Dayball from the Giants said his meeting with him was atrocious. He did not like the meeting with him. He came in and trying to dictate what he would do, what he wouldn't do, stuff like that. People don't want those kind of players on their roster, Jeff. Yep. So I don't think that had anything to do with it. They were more or less trying to humble him and prove a point. So
you cannot come in off interviews with an attitude like, so we really saw your film and we think, you could improve. No, I already know what I need to improve. I know what I need to improve. What?
You can't do that.
You can't do that. And he did it more than once. And it got him blacklisted. The word ran around, in the draft circle, like, oh, this guy is mentally, like, he's not somebody you want in your locker room. He's not somebody that you can rely on. He thinks he knows everything.
And also, and if a person thinks they know everything, you can't grow from that. Every person that I've ever met in my life that felt like they knew everything was at a standstill, was at a block in their life. If the day you stop growing is the day you die, right? Yeah. So
here's how a rookie quarterback should go to the interview.
I
know everything. I don't know nothing. I want to learn your system. I love being here. The jersey color is so cool. I just know I can be a producer if I can just adopt into the system and do everything that you say.
I do not die. I do not support this messaging. Fellatio for a starting position, absolutely not.
I'm sorry, I took it down a hole. But I'm right.
Now look, this is the thing right here, though, right? So, with him coming in with that big ego and all that stuff, right? That's what killed him. And then his quarterback comparisons are Geno Smith and Jared Goff. Like, come on, man. Like, I knew he was not going to be a day one person. No matter how those interviews went, I knew
he wasn't going to be day one.
Yeah, I've been saying it the whole time. He's not a day one guy. So now I was surprised when the Browns passed up on him with them first 2 picks. They had a lot of picks with them first 2 picks.
I was surprised the Steelers passed up on him.
The Steelers.
Whoa! I can't wait to hear the news on the Steelers because they're quarterbackless.
Now, well, they have Mason Rudolph there. That's why I thought they was going to bring
it
him.
Looks like it might be Rudolph as a starter. They just like him, and he's like, okay, let's save the money and let's put Rudolph in. Well, and Rudolph's a decent quarterback. He's as good as Goff.
They drafted Will Howard.
I mean, they put a line in front of him.
They drafted Will
and
Howard.
The lines have proved you can have a decent quarterback and a great line, and you can complete passes, right?
Well, yeah, true. So, but I think that them bringing in Will Howard is like, that was another one, proving a point. Let's bring in this guy, and I think the Steelers are all in on Aaron Rodgers. I think they're all in. They're all in on Aaron Rodgers. But
that's still a sketch deal. It's not done. There's a lot of play. All right, so Shaq.
Now, hold on.
We got to get to Commanders stuff. I want to get to Commanders, but go ahead.
Jeff, but no, it wasn't racism, man. Again, with him being categorized as a pedestrian, he being compared to pedestrian quarterbacks, that had a lot to do with it too. It was more like your ego's too big for this level of play.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So,
all right. So, Shaq, the number 2 sub story is Dion had 2 sons.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Shiloh got picked up by Tampa Bay. So he did
Wait,
his
wait, wait,
job.
Give me the detail. I know you know it.
Oh yeah, he got picked up by Tampa Bay as an undrafted free agent. Yeah.
But how?
Oh, you know, Deion made a phone call.
No. Here's the news. I got breaking news you don't know.
Come on.
I'm shocked. Shiloh said, "Dad, you suck. I'm going with an agent." And he signed with an agent, and an agent got him the undrafted free agent deal with the Bucks.
Yep.
He said, "I'm going away from the sand. I saw what you did with my younger brother, and I'm going with an agent." And he went with the biggest agent, and they got him a deal with the Bucks.
Now I'm gonna tell you one of the good things about it though. Deion can say something that none of us can say. He got 2 sons that's in the league, man.
Well, and when I was reading that today, I was like,
"Yep,
wow, it's still a powerful story, right?
It is.
It's still powerful. Deion Sanders, a legend in the game, and he's trying to coach his sons up, and whatever. But he got one in on the draft. He got one UDFA through an agent. But the news was, screw you, Dad. That was the news. Screw you, Dad. I'm going with an agent because I don't trust your system anymore.
Yeah.
But to 144. I'm not going there.
And look,
deal.
So what's crazy is that I believe it's the right thing because before the season even ended, Deion was doing interviews saying, "Hey, my sons are not going to play for certain teams." I'm like, so if you know he one of the best, y'all say he one of the best players in the draft, and he's going to go to a team that's not good. Like you know this already. So how you going to say he's not going to play for that team? So that kind of deterred a bunch of people away too. So yeah. But
all right, the next news. Let's get to Commanders now because this is even though Coach Matt Mack isn't here, this is Commander show. So what was the biggest news that hit today, Shaq, on the Commanders?
Oh yeah. The Commanders signed a deal to build a new stadium at the RFK site. Signed the deal. 3.4, 3.5 billion, something like that, right? So that now this is not gonna be a typical stadium. The stadium is a dome stadium. It's gonna have a retractable roof, all that stuff. They're gonna set up housing around there, apartments, townhouses. They put a shopping plaza over there along the river. They're gonna clear that out, put it along the river. Like they have a plan for this area, right? So these are my concerns. These are my concerns, right? With this stadium. It's gonna be done by 2030. So they got to destroy the old RFK. That thing ain't been doing nothing but collecting dust anyway.
Demo is slotted for the end of this year.
Yeah. So they're gonna demo it and they're gonna
be done by the end of next year.
Yep. So now here's my thing with that stadium. 3.4, 3.5 billion, somewhere in there. It's in there, up in the billion there, right? In the billions. The city, the Skins are only paying, I believe, 3 billion of it.
To 2.4.
2.4, yeah, 2.4 billion. There you go. So I thought it was 3. I thought it was a high number. 2.4 billion, right?
And
so
we're talking 3.5, 3.6, according to Jack. So that's $1 billion on the residents in DC.
Where is the money going to come from? DC right now do not have the money.
They're going to do a bond. There's a bond. I saw that. They're going to lay a bond out.
Listen,
I might have to invest in that actually.
DC does not have the money right now. They're cutting back on recreational activities for kids. They're firing essential workers, police, firemen, you know what I'm saying, trash collectors, EMTs, stuff like that, right? They don't have the money for it. Like right now, the streets in DC are terrible. Like they ain't got nobody. They let people go to work at the water treatment facilities.
Now, for all you watching that you don't know, Shaq lives right there. We literally walked 15 minutes to get to the stadium from his house.
Yeah,
we went to the first game. So he's there. He knows what's happening in DC.
Yes, and I'm telling you right now, DC. I said this morning when we talked in the group chat. I said if Mario Bowser signs this deal, she just signed away her reelection, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because the taxpayers are going to pay for this. DC already taxing businesses out. I told y'all this fun fact: by the end of this year, 44 to 50% of the businesses that are in DC are going to be gone due to taxation and slow business. All the federal workers are not in.
Gone.
They're gone now.
Been doged out a little bit. Yep.
Contracts are being
Buildings
cut.
are empty. There's
buildings are empty.
Yep. But I'll tell you, look, I did a deep dive, Shaq, on the project.
Yep.
Like they're building on the Anacostia River there.
Yep.
6,000 housing units, a business district, a huge park. And the other thing is, they were saying they're still going to keep the Ashburn facility. They're not going to use the park. They still want to keep Ashburn for training. I'm like, interesting.
So
that's a lot of money, man.
It's a lot of money, right? So let's think about this though. Again, a lot of businesses are leaving DC. A lot of people are moving out of the city, right?
Oh yeah.
There's no jobs there. Taxation is out. You're being taxed out of DC, right? There people are being taxed out of DC, right? So all those people that live right there in that Northeast community, I feel bad for because they're going to get hit the most.
Yeah.
Right? So they can put all the housing, apartments, townhouses up all they want. Who's going to be able to afford to live there?
Yeah,
that's the question, right? So now some of the sexy things about the stadium is now that we have a dome, we can start hosting Super Bowls. That will bring revenue.
That is the hugest news, right? They're going to build a dome.
Yeah.
Can you imagine having a Super Bowl in DC? That would be insane.
It would be
like phenomenal. We could go.
Yeah. That's what
we can just drive or take the metro. We don't have to get a hotel.
Yep.
So just go. We're gonna do it. Shaq, we're gonna do it.
And that will be
playing.
That will be phenomenal. Now, with them, another con about this stadium, the capacity of the stadium is the same as the old RFK. So we're going from 70,000 here at FedEx Field or Northwest Stadium, whatever we call it now, to we going back to a smaller capacity stadium. It's gonna be more upgraded, yes. It's gonna be a better facility, yes. But we're losing seats. So we know what that means. Another con, the ticket prices are gonna go up.
Shaq, you told me what the seating was earlier. We were on text with each other, and I said, "What the hell? How do you spend almost $4 billion and you don't put 75 or 80,000 asses in seats? How do you go back to 65? That doesn't make financial sense."
And so with this rebuild right here, let's take this in consideration, right? So
you have the property.
You have the property.
Build an 80,000 seat stadium. They'll come.
80 to 85,000 seats at a minimum.
How much is a stadium in what's Dallas's seat size in Dallas?
I gotta look it up.
What's that seat size?
But
we got 5 guys on. Guys, come in. How big is the stadium that Jerry Jones built? How many people can it hold?
Yeah, because I can tell you right now. This is just me. The people that live right there in Northeast, they just relocated to that area and stuff like that. They're not going to want to deal with what comes with this stadium. They want it there. Yes, the people around there want it. They think it's going to help the economy right there on 8th Street and all that stuff. They think it's going to bring business back to DC. Indeed, I don't think it's going to, right? What's going to happen is more people are going to move out because I'm telling you, taxes are going to kill. Taxes are going to kill. It's already horrible living in DC with taxes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. So, are you planning to relocate from your prime position to the new stadium position? He's like, no. I am definitely not moving into DC. All right, Shaq. What is the travel situation? Can we metro to the new stadium?
Yeah, it's gonna be the same Stadium Army stop. Same stop.
Stadium Army stop. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be the same Stadium Army stop. So, we can metro in from where I am 4 stops.
All right, I got no response from our folks online, so I'm going to Google it right here while we're talking. How many seats? What's the name of that stadium?
It's Arlington Stadium. I forgot. I don't know. Don't give me
Cowboy here. I got it right here. Boom. That's easy. 80,000.
Yep.
How does
it's 80,000, but $80
billion and not get an 80,000 seat stadium? I don't at a dome. How do they not build that property to be 80,000?
So now
people will show up. They'll fill the seats.
So this is the thing right here, though, right? So
and they can get the prices down.
Look, but like Jeff said, they can add 20,000 more seats, right? I mean 20,000. So their standing room. So that's what they're going to. I think that's what they're going to do with the Commanders Stadium too. In the Cowboys, they have standing room only areas.
Really?
Yeah. Yes, they do. They have standing room only areas.
I guess you just put your buddy in line for the beers and you stand and you do a rotation for the beers, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Boom.
Go.
Yeah. So they have those.
You think we'll do the same thing?
We're gonna have standing room areas for sure. But still the capacity of the stadium. I don't think right now, like I said, I feel for the DC taxpayers because this is coming at y'all expense because the government don't got DC government do not have it. They do not. They have buildings in there. They have to worry about this being leased out. They're losing leases for and all that stuff. And I don't know. Yeah, I don't. It's not a good look. You know what I'm saying? It's something that we wanted, but it's not a good look. That's just me personally. I mean, but again, it's going to bring Super Bowls here. It's going to bring other events here because we have a dome stadium now. Yep. Right. So by 2030, I say by 2033, 2034, somewhere in there, we should be hosting the Super Bowl.
You think you know what? I don't think it'll take long. If they actually open on time, I think it'll be within a year or two. Super Bowl will come to Washington. Well, stadium, they're going to do it for the publicity.
I think
whoever's president then, right?
Yeah, no, I think we already planned out. I think we already planned out till 2031 right now.
Oh, they've already got them selected. Okay, all right.
Yeah. I think we already planned out for like the is Oakland, Vegas.
Okay.
I think they already planned
out.
Next
window, you're saying the next window is like 34?
Yeah. So it's somewhere in there. Okay. I gotta double check that, but
no, you're right. No, I think you're right, man.
Because it's planned out. But I mean,
Jack Miller saying Olympics, WrestleMania, and World Cup weddings. I agree.
Yeah. Well, Jack, I don't know if you ever been to Audi Field, right? So Audi Field, they can do a World Cup at Audi Field. Audi Field is nice. That's where the defenders play. And it's a soccer stadium. So Audi Field is nice. When DC United plays there, they pack that stadium out. It's right by the National Stadium. So they could do the World Cup there. They really could, because that stadium seats a lot of people. I think not as much as the new RFK would, but it is it seats like maybe 39,000 people, something like that, 40,000 people, somewhere in there. So, but with them, I wonder. One of the crazy things about this, they are doing the Harris team is doing this in 2 to 3 years. Dave Snyder had this team for 20 plus years. It didn't get none of this done. So if they inherited this stadium when it was first built, the Harris team, I firmly believe over here where I'm at will be more developed. There will be more housing. There will be more strip malls. There will be more that it'll be more developed over here. You know what I'm saying?
It's a very I mean, there's obviously been a lot of work done behind the scenes on this already. Like, I don't know how they spent the money to get it done, but that development looked actually really cool. Really cool. My biggest detractor was only 65,000 seats. How do you go back? It's like, are you stupid?
Listen,
are you stupid?
And my thing
is, got a stadium in the middle of 2 different states. Listen, we went to the Giants game and it was house capacity, right?
Yep.
And now you're going to take 5,000 seats out of that. I agree with you. So the tickets are going to go way the hell up.
And there are things that are going to benefit, though, right? I'm going to tell you what some of the benefits for the city, though. Public transportation usage, right? That's going to be a benefit. Everybody's going to be taking a train because nobody want to deal with the traffic, right?
Yeah.
Now, with them doing all
that happens anyway.
Yeah, for sure. But the thing is, the difference between here where the stadium is now and there, tailgating is not going to be as fun because traffic is going to be terrible. There's going to be things that have to be done. If you go into 295 and onto 8th Street and all that stuff right there, traffic is already bad on a regular day. So they're actually going to have to fix all of that. Everything's going to have to be revamped, redone, and all that stuff.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of work
ancillary money that no one counts for in just a stadium. So Jack is saying, or Jeff just said, the Super Bowl's planned out 3 years in advance. So this could happen in 34, exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, no, wait.
34, it's 25.
Because it opens in 30, supposedly. So, 3 years after that,
Yeah,
34,
so if 33, 34. If we open it 30 like we're supposed to, we talk about 33, 34. Yeah. So
hey, Jack, so I saw Adam Peters today, and they're saying no, they want to. The question came to him on the interview today. Do you want to keep Ashburn? Or are you going to move to the new facility? Which actually would make a hell of a lot of sense. They have a whole park area that's outdoor grass. And he's like, nope, we like Ashburn. We're going to keep Ashburn. Which is a concern because our training facility in Ashburn is not up to par with other teams.
So no, this is the thing right here, though. This is why I firmly believe they should keep Ashburn, right? So they should keep Ashburn because of the exclusivity of it, the locality of it. It's away, right?
I agree.
It's away from everything.
But it is subpar compared to other teams.
But you get what you pay for, because remember they was doing it in Richmond at one point, right?
Yeah.
So it's the exclusivity, the location, the locality of it, right? You don't want people back when DC is a very, very busy city. You don't know who's watching, who's doing what. Right. And you don't want people just sitting around in their houses just looking at y'all on the playfield, recording on their phones, watching what you're doing, stuff like that. You don't need that, right? That's one. Two, again, traffic. A lot of these players don't live in DC. They don't. They live in the outskirts of Maryland. They live in the outskirts of Northern Virginia, out there in Ashburn, places like that, right? So those commutes into DC, battling some of the worst traffic in the country to come in to practice.
You're so kidding.
Yeah. So
Adam Peters pretty much in his interview today shut down getting rid of Ashburn. They're going to keep Ashburn and go with this. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, Shaq. The thing that everyone's been waiting for. We've been in 30 minutes already talking about all the news that just happened in 3 days.
Yes. Now,
3 days of what?
I just don't know. I'm telling you, I'm stuck on this stadium thing because I don't know how it's going to work.
Well, it'll come. It still needs to be voted on by the council. It hasn't been approved completely. If the council, they're going to do it. They're going to do it.
If the council says, well, they're being influenced to do it. So, you know what I'm talking about. They're being coerced. Hey, I remember you took these donations. I hope you get in that seat.
Yeah.
If you want to stay, they're being coerced.
I don't even want to think about the cost of a beer in the new stadium. It's probably going to go up by $5. It'd be $25 for a damn.
Don't worry about it.
Aluminum cylinder of Bud Light.
We can go ahead and drink before we go.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be. We can tailgate and go. All right, so let's get down to the nitty gritty. Let's talk about first
draft grades.
Man, that is why he is the Shaq. That's why he is the DC is broke Shakur, because he can read my mind like a book. Absolutely. Let's talk about draft grades and what the general public thinks about the draft grades in this draft. On why is my thing going all crazy? I don't want it to go crazy. So it's tracking me for some reason. See that? I hate that, man. Let me turn tracking off here. Anyway, I looked at zone tracking off. There you go. Now I'm stable. No, I'm not stable. Oh, dear Lord. Whatever. So listen, folks. All three of us were watching the draft together. We were watching it with you. I think everyone on this fan base was looking at, we need to get an edge guy because we gave away Fuller. And we gave him internally. We gave a 10-sack guy internally to our division competition.
11 and a half sacks.
11 and a half. Okay, even worse. So we gave that guy up. We didn't hold him and add to him. We got rid of him and had nothing. And exactly like the Lions, who needed to draft an edge first, the general consensus was we needed to go after an edge rusher, the best that we could get. And the Commanders took a different tack. This draft class was weird.
The whole draft was weird.
Weird. And have you ever, Shaq, seen draft class grades where every team gets an A or a B.
No, absolutely not.
That just happened. CBS, Yahoo Sports gave everyone a B or an A.
No.
How in the hell do you grade some of these draft classes so well? Well, it was because we had a weird draft class, right?
Yep.
It wasn't your normal 6 quarterbacks go in the first 10, 12 picks like last year, right?
Yep.
Where you get the A for picking the obvious choice. This was a deep draft. It was a deep draft.
Yep.
Heavy defensive.
Yep.
So the pundits, which we hate,
the
pundits, right? Oh, thank you. That we hate, scored. I was in shock looking for who had the lowest draft grade. Well, guess who it was? Guess who had the worst draft grade?
The Commanders
and the Lions.
Yeah,
with a B.
No, okay. So look, let's get to now. Jack, I let them know earlier. He said we're going after Zadarius Smith. Yeah, I let them know earlier. There were talks about us going after Zadarius Smith today. Yeah, so yeah, I seen that earlier too. So yeah, that is indeed a fact. But we failed in this draft because we did not address central need. Something. So we did address the secondary. We did address bringing in Trey Amos. We did, and then we brought in a bunch of secondary for as undrafted free agents, guys that's probably gonna be on the practice squad, stuff like that, unless they stand out, right? So, but we did not address Bobby Wagner's getting older. We didn't really address the linebacker position. We didn't address the defensive end position. I mean, I like the guard pick, but we could have got him later on, right? So I like the guard pick. I like the Trey Amos pick. I really like him. I like the Trey Amos pick. But
let's start from the top.
Yeah.
Let's go with offensive tackle Josh Connerly.
So okay.
Let's break that down and understand why did they go with an offensive tackle instead of an edge, and what does Connerly bring to the team that they thought they were? Because we were remember last year, that's what we were crying about. We were crying, get an offensive tackle. They do it this year.
So this is my thing right here. So they brought him in. They brought him in one because they didn't see nothing in Brandon Coleman. They made him feel like this guy is our future, right? Mm-hmm. Two, Laramie Tunsil is an older guy. Simply put, he's an older guy. So they like, let's invest in the future. But again, we could have got him three. He competed against Abdul Carter and didn't allow any pressures or sacks on the quarterback.
Keep rolling. I'll be right back.
Okay, yeah. So now I firmly believe those are the reasons that we brought him in, but we could have picked him up in the second round or the third round. He would have been around. In the second round, he would have been around, right? I think we should have went with a defensive end in the first round. As soon as James Pierce Jr. went off the board, we should have went after Nick Scorton, Mike Green. There were a bunch of other guys. Even when we got later in the draft, after Trey Amos, I was like, okay, these guys are still on the board. Once I seen KC would have picked because they need him, right? KC would have picked Connor, Jack. Yeah, so you're right. But we could have got another OT in this draft. I personally think we should have addressed what our real need was. Because we addressed the offensive tackle position with the Laramie Tunsil pickup. But they wanted to pick him up. They wanted to pick up an offensive tackle. I mean.
So Shaq, I want to talk to you about this. That's great. Oh, by the way, it's just way too much vodka and tea. I'm sorry. It catches up to you at some point. You just got to know it's a Monday. Okay, folks, I'm sorry.
Okay.
You and me, Shaq, are like this. We gave away way too much to get Tunsil, who also has injury history. But he's solid, but he's great. But we gave away so much.
Yeah.
When we could have focused on doing exactly what we just did.
We could have tried
an OT in the draft and getting an edge or signing a free agent edge or improving that. The edge has been the problem, right? We don't have a pass rush. So hindsight's 2020, looking back, right?
Yep.
We gave away a crap ton of draft capital to get Tunzel, plus money, right?
Yep.
That we could have spent in other places that we had needs. I don't disagree with the pick of Connerly. He was an excellent pick. He's an excellent player. And when you listen to Josh Peters and these guys talking about it, it's like, well, we don't really want to go, the philosophy is, everyone says you should go after your needs first, but that's not always how it works out. And that's not always the best. So many teams this year, Detroit included, did not go after in the draft their greatest needs. They went after depth players.
So in a couple years, we're going to have to pay Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is going to be one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL, right?
Killed, yeah.
Yeah. So if we want to build a win now team, we need to address the issues if we want to win now. And you brought in Deebo Samuel, you brought in Laramie Tunsil. We were supposed to address the holes in our defense in this draft. We brought in Trey Amos, right?
So let's get our conversation about Connerly finished first.
Okay.
There, and we'll go to the next one.
Yep. Because I'm looking at this list of undrafted free agents too. We brought in 5 DBs, and then we're gonna talk about one of the players they brought in.
So Connerly does address an issue. It gives us depth at offensive tackle, so they can. I don't know if it's a rotation strategy, but hearing how the management addressed this was their interest was in making sure they protected Jaden Daniels. And I can't disagree with it. It's just, was that the highest thing you needed?
No, it wasn't.
Getting out of the draft? You addressed it any other way? You already paid way too much for Tunzel.
You don't draft the first round player for rotation. If you draft them in the first round, they're coming in ready to play. Like, simply put, if you draft,
that should be expectation.
That's expectation. If you get drafted in the first round in the NFL draft pick, you are expected to come in and make an immediate impact. So no, you don't draft somebody as a rotational player. So either Brandon Coleman is going to get shifted to the inside, or Brandon Coleman not going to be on this roster.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So I don't.
Well, so Jack is saying, "Hey, Sarge, Tunzel and Deebo is part of our draft class. That's where I get it. I don't disagree with you. But listen, I wouldn't have done the Tunzel deal. I would have been looking to address that in the draft after I got an edge. Yep. That would have been my draft philosophy. Get myself the best edge I could get at my position. And if I didn't hire Tunzel, I'd have had more draft capital to move up if I needed to.
And when we didn't get James Pierce Jr., and I agree with this, because Coach Mad Mike said it, and when we didn't get James Pierce Jr., we should have traded back.
Yep.
We should have traded back.
Go back.
And we could have got a 3rd round pick. We could have got another 2nd round pick. We could have got a 3rd round pick. We should have traded back.
I feel they screwed up bad. Just like I feel like the Lions did too. They made the same mistake. Same needs, actually. It's really weird how they're kind of like symbiotic. But that being the case, we did get a great player. So it leaves question marks, right?
Yep.
Is he going to come in and compete with who?
Who, Tunzel?
No, not Tunzel. Tunzel's in.
Brandon Coleman.
Coleman.
No,
is there a question on Coleman? Is that what they're thinking that we don't know as fans sitting outside the locker room?
No, I'm gonna tell you. No. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. I'm telling you what's gonna happen. They're gonna move Coleman to the inside because he's a guard. They're gonna move him to the inside. You know what I'm saying? So
start the rookie.
Yeah, because Sam Cosmi, we don't know what's going on with him yet. So,
well, Jack, if that's the case, if your call is right on that, as much as I hate it, I love it. They're going to give more protection and open more lanes for running.
But this was not one of our needs.
He's not a running tackle. He's a pass block tackle.
Yeah, this was not one of our needs.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It wasn't one of our dire needs.
It was deep. It was too 2, 3 down in the picks, right? It wasn't number one.
It wasn't number one.
Yeah,
we did not address our number one. And then 2, yeah, I just didn't agree with the pick. We should, when we didn't get James Prince Jr., we should trade it back.
Yeah, Jack is saying he's going to go. Coleman's going to go to guard as well. I agree.
Yeah. He's gonna go to guard. And then
that makes a lot of sense. We might have a hell of an O-line this year, which could be interesting, right?
Yeah, well, we're gonna find out.
So, all right, let's talk about the number 2 pick, which I am excited about. I thought it was a great pick.
I like that. Well, I had to sit and ponder on it because when I found out about it, I was like, man, why didn't we address the defensive end? Because there was still a ton of defensive ends on it. Yeah. But I'm not gonna lie. You know why I like this pick, this Trey Amos pick? Because I don't like overpaid St. Jude's. I tell you. So I like this. I like this. If overpaid St. Jude's, Marshawn Lattimore, they should have traded him for draft capital. Should have traded him for draft capital. Now we about to pay this dude a whole lot of money to watch him get burnt all year. So what happens is he needs to go ahead and pull his hamstring and let Trey Amos get that job. Because once Trey Amos get it,
all right. So you think they're going to put the Rook in over St. Jude's? You think he'll beat him out for the position?
Overpaid St. Jude's.
Right, overpaid.
Overpaid St. Jude's, Marshawn Lattimore. And
SJ.
Yes. So this is just me personally. Right? It's just me personally.
You think he's going to beat him out for the position? I think he's a great pair to Lattimore. I think he's a great. You don't think so?
I think Sam still got that other side on lock.
We'll see how they compete.
Sam still had a good year last year.
You can't never have too many cornerbacks in your locker room.
Now, what I can say now, if they do start Trey Amos and they shift Sam still to like the hybrid cornerback, safety, linebacker position, I can see that as well because Sam still had a lot of tackles last year.
Yeah, Jack is saying Sanders still is going to be on the inside, and I agree.
Yeah,
they're going to put the new kid Amos on the outside, opposite Lattimore. That's where he's going to play.
Yeah,
that's what they drafted him for.
Yeah,
so I think that was a good second round. Honestly, a good second round pick.
Yeah, but we missed out on our essential need.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. We still missed it, right?
The secondary was getting burnt all last year. Right. Yep. They was getting burnt because there was no pressure up front.
Yep.
That's why they was getting burnt. They was tired. You go out there and you let a quarterback hold the ball for 5 to 10 seconds in the NFL. He's gonna lick his chops at the defense.
Yep.
So come on.
All right, let's talk about number 3. Jalen Lane, wide receiver out of Virginia Tech in the 4th round.
I did not agree with that pick at all.
Me neither.
I did not agree with that pick at all. Like at all. I didn't agree with that. Listen. I didn't agree with that pick at all. Like, okay, so let's look at that wide receiver room right now, right? We got Gallup, we got McCaffrey, we got McLaurin, we got Noah Brown,
Debo.
We got Debo Samuel, right? So,
what's going on with that pick? What's going on with that pick?
What would they bring? I mean, we got punt return guys. What they bring them in for?
Wait a minute, Jack. You say you love the Lane pick because it killed 3 birds with 1 stone? Jack, jump in there and tell me what you're talking about. We don't know what do you mean you killed 3 birds with 1 stone?
He's a punt return, kick return, and he's going to play receiver, right?
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So,
all right, they brought him in to do punts and returns. Is his speed good enough? What was his speed?
He's one of the fastest. He was one of the fastest receivers in the draft.
How fast? Because this wasn't a fast
I'm not sure.
class.
I'm not sure.
We had no record breakers in this class.
But okay. I do know this. I didn't like the pick again. Now, again, if we didn't address the defensive end position, what was it? What we should have picked up in this position was a linebacker. Should have picked up a linebacker.
Right, exactly.
Yep. Or we should have took one of the good running backs still on the board.
Every other pick should have been defensive related. Every other pick. Yeah. Every other pick should have been focused on defense. My opinion. And we went for, we got an offensive tackle, a cornerback, a wide receiver, an inside linebacker, and a running back.
So I'm gonna tell you. Remember, I told you that I had a friend whose son got drafted.
4-3-4 is what Jack's saying.
Oh yeah.
He's fast, But is he better than Luke?
Yes. Luke is like I haven't seen nothing from him. Nothing. And like nepotism got him in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, I ain't seen nothing from him. But there are running backs we could have picked up too. You know what I'm saying? Even though we did draft one late. But remember I told you that my friend, her son got drafted into the league, defensive tackle for Houston, right?
Yeah.
He played for Rutgers. Now I'm gonna tell you, I said that he was a sleeper pickup, and he's gonna have a stellar career, right? Since we already got all these old heads on the defensive line, they're on 1-year deals. Why not bring a rookie defensive tackle in like him to actually learn, get the rotation, get the snaps?
Right?
Yeah,
Fire on a guy.
So,
yeah, no, I totally agree. Agree.
Yeah, so no, I didn't like this pick at all. I didn't like this pick.
So the best chance, Shaq, that you think that we have with this guy, do you agree with Jack? He's going to be a kick returner, punt returner. That's
it. And
they're going to put him in front of Luke to do that.
Yeah.
They think he's got hands or at least he'll compete for it.
Yeah. No, he's going to be he's going to go. He's going to that's what he's going to be here for. And then truth be told, like Gallup is not going to be on this roster when the season starts. Gallup not going to be on the roster.
You don't think so?
No.
I think so.
No.
Just hear me. I got the Pink Panther kind of sense on this. Yeah, he's healthy now. He's gonna come in and play.
No, man.
I don't know why I think that, but he
was mid at best in Dallas.
I know, but in this air raid offense, he's gonna get some balls.
He is not gonna be on his roster, and
I agree with Jack. He's gonna stretch the field. That's what they brought him in to do.
Michael Gallup is not gonna be on his roster, and Noah Brown's gonna be fighting for a position.
All right. So, y'all, you heard that. Gallup is a bust. I'm saying Gallup is a value. It was a good pick. It was a good ad.
He was not
going to do something to help that air raid offense. Because that's where we're going. We're not running. We're going air raid.
He wasn't even the third best receiver in Dallas, man.
I know. Look at the quarterback we have. Look what we've got to deal with. He's going to get targets. They changed their philosophy. This offense went to an air raid offense. They said, screw the run. We're going to run because we need to throw a few in, but we're going to protect Daniels, protect our pass, and we're going to pass the hell out of this game. And they built a team to do that.
Well, and you
agree, but it's not a winning strategy.
Well,
you can't live without defense.
Jay Dave said he's trying to come in 10 and 15 pounds heavier. I want to see how that affects him. He said he's coming in 10 to 15 pounds heavier this year.
Jeez, what is he doing, man? Eating crab legs every night?
He bulking up.
10 to 15 pounds is a lot on that little skinny guy.
Yep.
Oh, he's going to slow down. He won't be skinny and mini anymore. He won't be slinking and dinking.
Yep.
He'll be chugging and slugging.
Now, I'm going to tell you, our next pick, Kay Madrano, I actually like that pick. I thought he was going to be gone earlier in the draft. I actually like that pick.
Yeah.
The dude is a speedster for a linebacker. Like he could literally play the hybrid safety, nickel safety linebacker position.
I would have liked to
I really like that pick.
Him in the 4th round, not the 6th.
Yeah, well, he was still on the board, and he was one of the best people available. I thought he would have been. I thought he would have been off the board.
At 4, not a wide receiver.
I think that for him to still be around at 6, there had to be some other issues.
Yeah, well,
because that's a really I did my homework on this guy. That's a really good pick. And
you like this guy, you think is he going to be a starter, or is he going to be in competition?
He's going to be in competition. He's going to make the roster.
You don't think he'll be a practice squad guy? You think he'll make the roster?
He's going to make the roster. Yeah, I think he's going to make the roster.
Jack says he's playing with his teammate as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he gonna make the roster. I like this kid. It's a good pickup.
All right. So our last pick, Ja'Cory Krosky.
Listen. I'm gonna tell you right now. B-Rob job is gone. I'm letting you know.
Oh,
when we picked him up, because this kid is a baller. Like this kid is a baller, right? Hey, what's the everybody was focused on McMillan in that offense.
Yeah.
Only issue did Krusky Murray had was fumbles, same as B-Rob, fumbling, right? He couldn't hold on to the ball. But when he did hold on to the ball, one of the most productive backs in college.
Yeah.
So for a round 7 pick, that was a good pickup. Great pickup.
So coach just needs to get him to sleep with a football every night, right? Under his pillow.
Yeah.
And put some tacky mac on that thing and some super glue to hold on to it, and it'll be good. You think it'll be good?
Yeah, I think that'd be good because I can tell you with now that we picked him up, McNichols, Chris and Rodriguez, they might not make this roster.
You think he's better?
Yes.
Even with the fumbles?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like for real. Yes, I think so.
Okay.
And if he goes in and he don't cough up the rock, if he goes in and doesn't cough up the rock,
which is the death knell for any running back, by the way. It's the death knell, right?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. If he don't cough up the rock in training camp, B-Rob gonna be fighting for his job.
How's his hands? Can he catch?
He can catch. Yeah, he can catch
and run.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that was a really good pickup.
Where we were at in the draft, pick that one up. I'm also very okay with it because we needed to add somebody at that position, right?
Yep.
So I'm totally okay with that pick there. I think it's a good pickup. So Shaq, looking at our draft class overall, what the fundants gave us a B. What would you say?
Me personally, I'm gonna give us a C. A C. Because, I mean, even though we didn't agree with the Connolly pick, he is a good tackle. I like the Trey Amos pick. I like the Medrano and Crosby Merritt pick. I like those picks. And I just don't understand the Jalen Lane pick.
Well, we didn't understand them not picking an offensive tackle last year, and look where we went, right? We did not understand it. We poo-pooed it the entire year, and they addressed it. Somehow, we got almost to the dance. We almost made the dance, right?
Yep.
So I'm sitting back trying to go, okay, why are they saying it's a B? Because I'm feeling like you, C or C minus. Because me, personally, I'm going to take the best pick I can to address the most pressing need I have, right?
Yep.
I don't care. Give me the guy on the board, the best guy at the position I need the most. And then, of course, you have to do does he fit our team? Does he how's his interview? What's his fucking, blah, 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 blah. But give me the best guy to fill my most critical need, which is edge, which I gave away.
And right now, after the draft, our needs right now are edge rusher, running back, and cornerback. Because they said that there's no belief, just like me, there's no belief in Marshawn Lattimore.
Right.
There's no belief in him.
He's in a prove it mode.
Yes, and then we brought in the old washed up Jonathan Jones, and Igor Monogamy is he's pretty much a special teams guy that plays here and there, right? Yeah. But the undrafted guys, we brought in a ton of secondary. Mm-hmm. We brought in a ton of secondary from our undrafted guys. So I did like that.
With a limited draft, because we gave so much away to get Tunzel, with that limited draft, my honest opinion is you just had to go after your most pressing defensive need first. Take the very best guy you could get at your most pressing need, and that was edge, and they didn't do it.
Yep.
They went for interior, and it didn't make any sense to me. And I can say the same for the Lions. The Lions, it was like they were in the same locker room figuring out how to do stuff because they did the same exact thing. Made no sense to me whatsoever. I think it was a bad mistake, and that's why I'm giving them a C. C minus is my grade.
Okay, so now look, let's look at this undrafted free agents that we signed, right?
There's some guys in there.
It is. And now one of the defensive backs that we picked up that I feel like is going to make this roster is Fentrell Cypress, defensive back from Florida State.
Oh, I don't tell me about him. I don't know nothing about him.
He's going to come to compete. I don't know how he didn't go get drafted. Trey Rucker is another one from a safety from Oklahoma State. He's going to come to compete. I don't understand how he didn't get drafted. They are Trey Rucker, Fentrell Cypress, and was it we brought in a rookie quarterback to Virginia State, but he just did it to be there.
Right.
And
his training body.
Ricky Barber.
Jack is saying, watch next year, we're gonna go for edge. A year late. It's kind of like the Fed doing interest rate cuts. They're always behind.
Yeah.
Well, again, I'm just gonna say, we were really critical of the draft last year that they didn't pick up on offensive tackle.
Yep.
We were super hyper critical, and we almost made the dance.
Yep.
So there are things that we don't know, that looking on the outside that we can't see. There are things that are happening, and they're looking inside of their guys and their strengths and their weaknesses, and they decided to go OT with it. I clearly felt this draft was focused on protecting Jaden Daniels, giving him more protection, and overdoing it so that they could put the air raid offense into play.
Even one of the
you know what secured it was when they went for that wide receiver.
Yeah, and you know what? Even in the undrafted free agents, we picked up an offensive lineman from NC State, Tim McKay. Hey, we picked up a safety from HBCU from Jackson State, Robert McDaniel. Yeah, and you know, a lot of those guys at Jackson State gonna get opportunities because of how much light was shined on them when Deion Sanders was there.
Yeah.
So, now one of the highlight guys that we are bringing in. This is something that we need to talk about. One of the highlights that we're bringing in to training camp is Sean Taylor's brother, Gabe Taylor. He's coming in.
I didn't know that, really.
Yes. The Commanders are bringing in Gabe Taylor in. Bringing Gabe Taylor in the camp. Yep. No, he's not the UDFA. They invited him into training camp.
They just invited him cold.
They invited him in.
Wow.
Yep. So I knew he wasn't gonna get drafted because he is not Sean Taylor, right? But he has some of the similar attributes. It would be nice to see him. It would be nice to see him, on our special teams. Maybe get a little burn. And blow out games.
Has he got game? Has he got game?
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty good.
So how's he coming into us? They just called him and said, "Hey, you want to come try out?"
Yeah, they were like, "Hey, man," they invited him to camp. So
he's an undrafted free agent.
He's an undrafted free agent. He's just not on the updated list yet.
Interesting.
Yeah. So they invited him in.
So Jack is saying if not, he goes to Philly, and Philly has that idea to contract for him. Well, I couldn't disagree.
Yeah. And listen,
what Shaq is saying is true. Yeah, then that's totally possible.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, Sean Taylor brother is coming to camp. So man, congratulations to the Taylor family.
I like it. I just like the whole legacy thing. That's cool.
Yeah, congratulations to the Taylor family.
He played for the Commanders.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Congratulations to the Taylor family. And then, he already said if the number's available, he's going to wear Sean Taylor's number.
Oh, so that's going to happen.
Yeah. So come on now. Congratulations to the Taylor family for putting two sons in the NFL, man. Good job. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he keeps the memory,
legacy, right?
The legacy and
maybe
stuff alive.
Maybe he's a baller. Maybe he's a real baller. That could be cool. What a great story. What a great story, man.
Yep.
All right, Shaq, you got anything else for the show tonight? Because we're about 60 minutes in.
Hey, well, I do got one more thing. DC, where you gonna get the money from? Where are you gonna get the money from?
It's coming out of your pocket. You live there.
Where are y'all gonna get the money from?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know yet. I hope y'all figure it out. Because I ain't listen.
They apparently better people than us have already looked at this and they already have a plan, Shaq. They already have it figured out. So I don't know. We were broke last year. That's why we couldn't hire anyone. And all of a sudden, we come up with $2.4 billion.
Well,
from Washington Commanders. Where do we get that money? Where's he financing that?
He pulled it from the 76ers problem. You know what I'm saying? No,
he's pulling it from somewhere because we didn't make any money.
And that's what I'm saying.
We got a C-131 for a flyover, not a jet.
Yeah.
We got a supply plane for a flyover on the first game. They better fix that this year.
Well, I do know this though. I do know that
No, no.
I don't know.
Wait, Jack's saying on a sad note, did you hear that Harmon story that Pittsburgh drafted? No.
Oh yeah. Okay, so what happened with him is that his mother was in the hospital fighting a terminal illness, and as soon as he got drafted, she passed away.
After he got drafted,
right? She was alive long.
She got to see her son get drafted.
She was alive long enough to see him get drafted.
Hail to the Harmon family.
Yep.
Good job, Mama. Sorry to see it pass.
Yep. And my condolences to that young man.
Jeff is saying that he owns a soccer team in England too. That's where he's getting some money because he owns a soccer team.
Hey, well, it's coming from somewhere because DC is popped. And if anything, y'all talk about giving all this money to the stadium, y'all need to fix the streets. The streets, potholes, you can mess around and you can go in one of them potholes.
I agree.
Listen, hey man, listen. You can mess around. You can mess around and drive one of the potholes. It would throw your whole wheel alignment off. You can disappear in one of those things. Like literally, step in one of them potholes, you'll be waist deep in water.
Fix the streets first and then get your stadium. I love it, Shaq.
Hey.
Fix the streets. Do it now, Muriel Bowser.
That's right. You got bridges collapsing. You got bridges collapsing. You got potholes the size of
your community is falling apart. You want to spend billions on a stadium. Muriel Bowser, get it together.
Buildings falling apart. You got potholes the size of Priuses, and you talking about building a stadium.
You're killing me.
Come on, man, get out of here. Stoplights don't be working. Stop those lights don't be working. You got homeless people sleeping on the middle of the road.
This video, this last 1-2 minutes is for you.
Yeah, get it together, man.
Oh my God,
y'all priorities in the wrong place.
All right, we had a lot of people on tonight. Very much appreciate you participating. We hope we included you all. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. Coach Mad Mike should be back next week. If not, I'm going to kill him. I will choke him if he's not here. So. Let's get a peace out. Football side. Go Commanders.
Let's go. Let's go. Football psych. Yeah, buddy. Oh man, I'm glad everybody.